influencer boxing has gotten huge. I mean, there are YouTubers that are wanting to fight, Twitch streamers that are wanting to fight, everyone. Every influencer seems to want to fight. I specifically enjoy the cards that always want to do it for a charity or a bigger cause. That's how I got into boxing, was to do it for charity. Creator Clash is probably one of my favorite new boxing influencer events. When I saw last year's, I was definitely in for this year's. And when I saw the card, when I saw the lineup, I was in. Early bird pricing. I'm so excited for this card. I'm excited to see Harley back in. I'm excited to see Dad back in. I'm excited to see Myth get a shot. But one of my most favorite parts of this card comes here. Froggy Fresh versus Chris Raygun, who, if you don't know, if he looks kind of familiar, but you can't put the finger to it.
Y'all think I don't get girls, cause I ain't very tall. If she see my stacks, I bet you that she calls, you know.
That's right. Krispy Kreme, baby, after his whole lawsuit, had to switch and become Froggy Fresh. And this just like bang, 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 hit me with a flood of nostalgia. The guy is ripped now. I'm excited to see him back in the space, let alone just in boxing. I feel like it's an old friend. And we're about 3 weeks out from the fight itself. There's already been a couple changes to the card due to injury, and this tweet comes out about 5 days ago that Froggy Fresh will not be participating anymore in Creator Clash 2. A few hours later, you get a little more detail, which raises more eyebrows and has a lot more questions behind it. They say that Creator Clash's goal is to make an inclusive and fun environment for creators and fans while giving back to charity. This has always been our mission, and Froggy Fresh's recent behavior does not align with that mission. Finally, we look forward to the fight on April 15th. What has been going on? What has been happening? It feels like all these things are starting to explode and expand over the past week. There are two different theories. I'm going to touch on both, go through everything to keep you right up to date onto where we are today, and then finally give you my whole thoughts on the situation. The first theory that I have to knock out, because I really just don't think it's true, is that leading up to that tweet, Froggy Fresh went and worked with Sam Hyde, who, you know, does not mesh or get along with iDubbbz and Creator Clash, and is a general just internet troll that has just pushed lots of buttons from my understanding. But the reason why I don't think it's because of that work together is because, well, Harley did the same thing last year, posted content right up until the event, and he was invited back. So what would be the second reason? Well, pretty shortly after that announcement, the man, the myth, the legend himself, probably one of the most level-headed people, I think, on the internet, Moist Critical, instantly retweets this, saying kicking him for a controversy after months of training is brutal. I don't think any jokes he made were intended to be mean-spirited or shit on anyone. Hopefully they reconsider this decision. And so I went, what jokes? I started doing some digging, found this video, which kind of starts to lay down the path to what we're seeing today. Where at one point, Froggy Fresh said, if I lose my boxing fight, I will subscribe to Anissa's OnlyFans. Anissa, not only one of the people that have founded and are putting on Creator Clash, but is iDubbbz's wife. So that's the connection there. But shortly after this was said by him, he is getting into Twitter beef with Anissa's mom, iDubbbz's mother-in-law. And, you know, she's saying some pretty mean things. He's kind of going with it, being mean as well, taking a shot at iDubbbz down here. And they keep going back and forth, back and forth. What I will say with this tweet right here, specifically with this is for charity, I think Froggy is aware that, you know, he's, I think, trying to just like stir up some drama, not real drama, but just to put on a fight. And that's important to say as well, is that these creators have all been given an allowance to go get trained and feel like real boxers. And sometimes I think that leads to them thinking that they always need to have drama to build up a fight, because that's normally what you see in a lot of high profile fights. It is important to reference here as well, or to mention here, that there's been 2 Twitter spaces where a bunch of creators get all together. They've been hosted by Keemstar, and they basically just talk more and try. It's like an interview sort of weird process thing. It really just feels like you're doing high school gossip, but on Twitter and with voices. It's a weird place, but both of them have happened after these big announcements from Creator Clash. That's what's helped steer the narrative that maybe Sam Hyde is the reason, but also sometimes it gives us a little more context on what's going on. Now, a couple of days ago, we get this update from Creator Clash after it's been a few days of the internet going insane. As you may be aware, we recently announced Froggy Fresh will be leaving Creator Clash 2 Ticket. We want to provide some additional information around the rationale for this decision to help clarify some of the online chatter. We have been legally binding code of conduct for each Creator Clash 2 fighter are held to. The violation which is grounds for termination. Unfortunately, there were several violations made by Froggy Fresh during this tenure with Creator Clash this year. From there, they say that Creator Clash 2 team, inclusive of the production company, takes violations seriously and made several unsuccessful attempts to address them directly with Froggy Fresh in hopes that he could work together to get things back on track. When it became clear that he exhibited behavior wasn't stopping at risk of the other fighters, fans, and others involved in the event, the Creator Clash 2 team collectively decided to move forward without Froggy Fresh. Our number one priority, ensuring Creator Clash 2 is positive, safe, welcoming space for everyone. From there, because part of the whole reason in that first Twitter space was a lot of creators just saying, I'm offering this much to charity to like get them back in. 100,000 here, 600,000 there. Crazy amounts of money to charity. The second part here really is just going into how they made sure to donate money to both of the charities involved. Now, a lot of this part does raise eyebrows. What do you mean multiple violations trying to get in contact? Froggy Fresh instantly in there. This saying about how one person named Justin Tracy tried to reach out a little bit. Another one here that he wasn't given any notices on what had happened. And again, sort of going around the theory that it's because of Sam Hyde. And then finally in here that he was being threatened of lawsuit and that he'd have to give that $15,000 back. From there, we go into another Twitter space. This one I sat in on to hear some different things. And now, while it was again a lot of weird high school drama, he said, she said sort of things, nothing has been cleared up by this point. The Creator Clash 2 statement, again, to me, just like raises more questions than answers if we go off the timeline of the Anissa OnlyFans mother-in-law controversy joke sort of kerfuffle, which is weird. But even weirder is that Harley Morenstein, who's on the card, is sort of getting upset with them now being accused of just, dick riding Creator Clash 2. Like, what's your vested interest? And while I don't think Harley has a vested interest, he made a great point that was, hey man, you insulted the people that are putting on this event. How are you surprised that you're being kicked off? Like, we all signed the same contract. Like, there's grounds here for being terminated. And from there, even Harley goes to as far as to put up sort of a blanket contract from not Creator Clash 2, but for a different one, which does go in that you sort of represent the entire event going on. You need to act accordingly. So where does that leave us? It leaves us in a weird space where Froggy Fresh is now being potentially threatened with a lawsuit. A lot more creators are coming in to say, we've got you covered. Don't worry about that. Just speak on your truth. And now we have a fight that is not happening at all. And charity's being benefited, but overall, a huge cloud put over Creator Clash 2. And just, a weird sense going into this card anyways. I don't think the full story is here yet because I don't think either side is wanting to. And I don't know what that could be. Everything has either been really corporate from Creator Clash or just defensive and not really any sort of like receipts or things to sort of back up Froggy Fresh's side. I do think it could be something that has been blown out of proportion. I could think that, when you're insulting two people that are creating the event, trying to build a fight, that you might, I don't know, maybe stroke the wrong nerve and just have it be an instant termination based off of the contract. And I think that's fair. I think it's a little silly. I think that both sides could probably handle it a lot better if that is all true. And that is important to say if all of that is true. But I don't think we're going to get the full story probably ever. I think there will be things that we will always question and have to sort of make our own connections to. There's one thing that has been clear about this week is that Froggy Fresh is in demand to box. People are excited to. People are threatening to get rid of their tickets, cancel their pay-per-views because of this, which I think is way too far. It is for charity at the end of the day. So you're sort of just taking away from them. And Froggy Fresh will find a way into that ring because shortly after all of that, we get this announcement that, of course, Misfits and DAZN are very interested, brought this in. Gideon comes in saying he'll donate money to the winner's charity to essentially say, okay, if Creator Clash 2 isn't going to put them back in, someone else is going to scoop in. And that's kind of where it is. It's a lot of he said, she said drama, a lot of bullshit, and unfortunately, really close to the fight, just kind of a weird souring taste. I think all of this has taken away. I think that YouTubers try to play Boxer, but that's just kind of it at the end of the day. People are just playing Boxer. They're trying to emulate and do what they think is the right way to sell fights. And sometimes it's just important to just focus on your own narrative and not just start drama when at the end of the day, you're just trying to help charity. Still can't wait for this card. Expect a prediction coming up in a little bit of who I think will win all the fights. What do you think? A warranted reason to be terminated? Is that it? Is that all? Is the Sam Hyde theory true? Do you feel like you're caught up? This has been a lot. Until next time. See ya.